Good morning, friends, and here's Chapter 6 of the Polar Bear Patrol. There's nothing that can compare with riding in a dog sled, that is, unless you get the chance to drive a dog sled. Tim, Miss Frizzle called, can you take over the reins for a while? I need to check my map. My knees were shaking as I moved to the front of the dog sled. Miss Frizzle handed me the heavy leather reins. What if I have to stop the sled? I asked nervously. I'm not sure, the Frizz said with a frown. What is the opposite of mush? I took the reins and hoped we wouldn't have to stop. The dog sled flew across the ice. Look, D.A. yelled, an Arctic fox and its babies. I think they're my favorite. Ralphie snapped a picture, so this is a little report by Phoebe called A Foxy Fox. The Arctic fox changes its fur coat twice a year. In the winter, its fur is white and thick. The white fur blends in with the white snow to protect the fox from enemies. In the summer, the fox sheds the white hair to show a thinner coat of a brownish-gray fur. That coat matches the tundra landscape after the snow has melted. Beside me, Miss Frizzle pulled out her map. We're heading in the right direction, Tim, she said. Do you want to stay behind the wheel, reins? Did I ever? Mush, I yelled. The lead husky turned around and flashed its eyes at me. Bright Eyes sure was loving this ride. An hour later, my arms were getting really tired from holding the reins. When will we get there? I asked Miss Frizzle. I'm tired, I heard Phoebe say. What time is it? Miss Frizzle looked at her watch. Leaping lemmings! It's 8 o'clock at night. But it can't be, Ralphie said. Look at where the sun is in the sky. Even though it's getting late, the sun won't settle for a while yet, the Frizzle explained. According to my research, the sun is out for about 14 hours in April, so it'll set soon, D.A. explained. It's a good thing we didn't take this trip 4 months ago when it was dark for almost an entire day. Just then I saw a low wooden building in the distance. There it is, Miss Frizzle said, the Polar Bear Research Station. So this is from Miss Frizzle's little notebook, and it's called The Land of the Midnight Sun. For part of the year, the sun never sets in the Arctic. From the middle of June through the beginning of July, the sun never stops shining. This happens because Earth is tilted on its axis as it travels around the sun. When the North Pole is tilted towards the sun, it's daylight almost all day and night long. The huskies headed straight for the station. As we got closer, I pulled tighter on the reins. Luckily for me, it worked. We came to a stop right in front of the station. A man burst out of the door and ran towards us. Valerie Frizzle, he shouted. Welcome to the Arctic. Hi, Luke, Miss Frizzle said. Dr. Luke Igluk beat my class, and this is Tim. He's doing research on polar bears. Hi, Tim, Dr. Luke said. Let me help you with the dogs. They must be tired and hungry after a long journey. So here's Tim with the bus. I'm tired and hungry too, Arnold said. In the north, we always take care of the dogs first, Dr. Luke explained. You might need them to save your life. We had hitched the huskies from the sled and fed them. Then we started to unpack our supplies. So this is from Dr. Luke. Huggable Huskies. Husky dogs usually work in teams of 11 or 12. The 1 or 2 dogs that run in front are lead dogs. They set the pace for the others. Each dog needs to eat 2 pounds of food a day. Most people give their huskies names and enjoy their personalities. You can't beat having a husky for a best friend in the Arctic. The Frizz pulled back the canvas tarp on top of the little supply sled at the back. Did we get a surprise? Curled up there was a white ball of fur. It was one of the polar bear cubs. Uh-oh, Arnold said. His mother's going to be really, really mad at us. Did you take this cub away from his mother? Dr. Luke said. He sounded really upset. Not on purpose, I said. He must have crawled into the supply sled. He probably smelled this, Dr. Luke said, holding up a skeleton of fish I had picked up. I felt terrible. The cub was miles away from his mother, and it was all my fault. Is he old enough to live without his mother? I asked Dr. Luke. We can keep him safe for a while, Dr. Luke said, but he needs a mother to teach him how to survive in the Arctic. Let me help you take care of him, I said. I want to know everything about polar bear cubs. So here's the little cub curled up. We'll put him in a pen inside the research center tonight, Dr. Luke said. Tomorrow, we'll try to find his mom. Dr. Luke picked up the white ball of fur and carried him into the research station. He put the cub in one of those pens there. 10 minutes later, I was helping feed the cub from a bottle. I started to feel a lot better. What are you feeding him? Phoebe asked. I could tell she wanted to help, so I let her hold the bottle for a while. It's as close to his mother's milk as possible, Dr. Luke explained. Soon, the little cub curled up in a ball and fell asleep. I started to yawn, too. It's time you had some dinner and hit the sack, Dr. Luke said. Come on into my igloo. Igloo, Arnold yelled. I know all about those. I can't believe you live in an igloo. Actually, igloo is the Inuit word for any house, Dr. Luke explained. Igloovikak is the term for a snow house. My ancestors were Inuit. Some people call us Eskimos, but we call ourselves Inuit. Arnold led the way out of the research station and into Dr. Luke's igloo. We crawled through the low entrance into a big room. We all settled down on the rugs on the floor of the igloo. I like to carry on the old ways as much as possible, Dr. Luke explained. I made this igloo the same way the Inuit did a century ago. A pot was cooking over a little stove. Dr. Luke served each of us a bowl of soup. While we ate, he told us how the Inuit used to hunt polar bears. For my ancestors, Dr. Luke said, life was very hard. To make it through the long winter, they had to hunt animals to survive. But wasn't it dangerous to hunt a polar bear, I asked? Yes, very dangerous, Dr. Luke said. An Inuit hunter would track a bear's footprints in the snow. When the bear was in sight, the hunter would let loose his dogs to attack the bear. While the dogs surrounded the bear, the hunter would throw a harpoon at the bear to kill it. My ancestors called life a long walk on an empty stomach, Dr. Luke said. They had great respect for the polar bear. They called it Nanook. So this is from the desk of Dr. Luke. To build an igloo, all you need is a snow knife and tundra snow. Make a circle in the snow. Cut out the first blocks from the center of the circle. Make the blocks about 2 feet wide and half a foot thick. Lay each block on its edge around the ground. Shave off the tops of the blocks so that they slope down and slant in. Lay the next row of blocks, tilting them in a bit narrow circle. Spiral more rows of blocks upward and inward. Place the last block or keystone on top. Fill it in from the side. Fill in the joints between the blocks with snow. Cut a low tunnel near the bottom of the house. Add more snow blocks to create an entrance. So you can see the little steps they take to build the igloo. Oh, and another one about Nanook, the great white bear from Dr. Luke. The polar bear was the most dangerous animal to hunt, and it was greatly respected for its strength and spirit. The bear's blubber, meat, and fur all helped the Inuit survive, and the Inuit gave thanks and respect to Nanook. After a hunt, they held a celebration that lasted for days. Then, a polar bear dance was held. Finally, the bear's skull was set on an ice floe to release its spirit back to the Arctic. That's the end of this chapter. Tomorrow, Mrs. Weeds will read chapter 7. See you soon. Bye.